Hey guys, welcome back to Biscuits Total War. This is Biscuits giving you another online commentary for Rome Total War. In today's episode, we've got a 3 versus 3, 31k rules on the grassy flatlands. And to make it a bit interesting, I've actually invited a player from the GoTW clan, who is a guy called Lancer, who's actually joining us today in this actual 3 versus 3 battle. Now, for you guys who don't know who Lancer is, Lancer's been playing Rome Total War for quite a long time. Certainly it's a name that I remember from many years ago when you used to see people like Saint, Mussolini and other people playing online. So I saw him in this Steam chat line, basically dropped him a quick little message to see if he'd be up for a quick game. Thankfully Lancer agreed, so it'll be really interesting to see this battle because this is a guy that's been playing Rome Total War for some time. Sod's Law, I've probably contacted the wrong Lancer and I'm talking about somebody totally different, but hopefully this should be the correct Lancer that some of us may not know. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling on. I'll quickly outline the armies. Now, I've brought the Greeks and I brought 16 Spartans with different upgrades and 4 Cretan archers. My allies here are the 2 Julii players, the 2 Red Romans. We've got Flank Me and we've got Lancer. And their builds are exactly the same. They've gone for 2 archers, 6 Praetorian Cav, and then the rest Urbans. By going for these 2 archers, they've saved a bit of cash so they can pump in extra upgrades onto their Praetorian Cav to make up for my lack of cavalry because I am fielding, of course, the Greeks. So that's our armies. Let's have a quick little glance at the opposition. We've got 2 members from the OTS clan. Now, I'm not 100% sure what OTS stands for. Guys, if you know, leave a little comment. I'll be really interested to know what OTS stands for. But they've both gone for the Scipii faction. We've got OTS-Manny-Centurion and OTS-Cerarius-Halsey, it looks like. Let's have a little glance at their builds. They've gone for 6 Praetorian Cav and 14 Urbans. And it looks like exactly the same. And they've gone for a fairly standard kind of formation. I imagine they're fairly new to 31k because the formation is fairly basic. But if it's not broke, don't try and fix it. If it works, use it. But that usually tends to be a kind of very basic formation that some people might use when they're first learning how to play 31k. Let's have a little glance at this guy. This guy, he is called Mardy the chavsaver. Now, for you guys who may or may not know, this is Feria. He's a Russian player. He used to be part of the COH clan. Ironically, I think there was a bit of beef between the COH clan and the GOTW clan many years ago. So they're now fighting each other. And he has gone for the Seleucids. So Seleucids would be interesting because I usually find the Seleucids pretty tricky. Because all of their killing ability tends to be with the cataphracts, and usually if you mess up the cataphracts, it's a really unforgiving faction to use when it comes to 31k. They've got a couple of archers. In fact, they've got 2 archers there. These guys are short range in comparison to the archers that we're fielding, and then the infantry consists of silver shield legionaries and long shield or silver shield pikemen. So that's pretty much the build. Let's have a look to see exactly what happens in this. Now, my formation, what I've done at the back here, I've deployed my guys further at the back so I can try and run across. And what I really want to do in this battle, I know it sounds a bit cheesy, but I really wanted to win this battle because we had previously played a couple of battles with Flank Me. And we played some random people who I've never played before, but we played on some maps which were quite mountainous. And unfortunately we lost both of those battles because the opposition basically deployed the majority of their army, if not all of their army, on top of their mountain. And as much as I like to think I'm okay at Rome Total War, when it comes to trying to attacking uphill against long pikes, and I've got short pikes, there's very little damage that I could do, and unfortunately we weren't able to win those battles. So after having 2 consecutive defeats in a row, I really wanted to pull out the stops and make sure we actually win this battle. So to make sure we win this battle, I want to play it nice and safe. I'm going to deploy my Spartans in the centre, in between both of my allies here, to make sure that my flanks are nice and supported. In the meantime, Lancer is going to be doing a bit of a dueling competition with these archers. Now, he should be able to win this because his archers have got the range. His archers are more upgraded, plus his archers I've got better stats than these guys. But once these archers get into range, they should be fairly on a level par, because I believe the Seleucids really have maxed out the upgrades on these archers, but I could be mistaken. So it'll be quite interesting to see these two little archers kind of slog it out. They're trying to duking it out, fighting one another. In the meantime, myself and the Julii allies here, we're just getting into formation, getting ready for the battle, which is about to kickstart any time now. But at the moment, we're having a nice bit of a duel at the moment. Now, bit of a history for you guys. If you turn the clocks back, maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, 7 years ago, if you used to play Rome Total War, often people would bring archers, and all would happen, all you would do, you'd actually have an archer duel for literally the first 5 minutes of the battle, and once the archer duel had been finished, then the actual battle would start. It sounds a kind of bit bizarre, and in hindsight, I'm not quite sure why we did it, but it was just a done thing at the time. You'd have your archer duel, and then you'd actually start the battle. So, although it is 2015, this battle arguably it could be a 2007 battle. Looking at the tactics going on here, we've got a kind of an epic little duel going on with the archers. Anyway, what I'm going to do now, we're going to push our guys forward, because there's a big gap between the enemy here. You can see the Scipii here, the Scipii there, but there's a big gap between them and the Seleucids. So what I was thinking about doing is advancing my guys forward and trying to actually fit my guys in between this gap here, and then using my archers to go and assist Lancer to shoot down the Seleucids. Because as I'm sure you already know, guys, with most units, when you have an archer, you want to try and shoot them in the back, or if you can't shoot them in the back, you want to shoot them on their right, on their left hand side. That's the side without the shield, because that will give your archers a better chance at actually gunning down the opposition. But because they're Seleucids, you can just shoot them square on, unless it's a cataphract, and they should be able to do quite a lot of damage, because their defense stats are minimal in comparison to, say, their allies, which are the urban cohorts, which are not impossible to shoot square on, but it's going to be pretty damn hard to shoot them face. So let's crack on. So I'm pushing my guys forward, running them forward. I'm not too worried about the Seleucids at the end of the day, and I'm not too worried about the cataphracts. All I want to do is make sure I win this, because after all, after losing those 2 battles, no one likes to win at the end of the day. They always like to win, and I just really wanted to make sure I can get another little win underneath my belt. So I've pushed my guys forward. You've managed to win the archer duel. The Seleucids have routed, and they may come back, but at the end of the day, there's only 15 of them in that one unit. If they do come back, they're not really going to do too much damage. So we now have archer supremacy. The opposition, none of the Scipii brought any archers. The Seleucids have now lost both of their archer units. So what we can do, we can play quite defensively if we wanted to, and just make sure that we're using the advantage of our archers, because at the end of the day, we don't need to push forward. We can just hold our ground, get my archers into range, start picking off their Praetorian cav, or start picking off the Seleucid units. You know, time is on our side at the end of the day. We don't need to rush stuff. We don't need to make any stupid errors, because at the end of the day, we want to make sure, I'm going to say it for the third and last time, we definitely flank me and myself want to win this because of what has previously happened. Anyway, let's have a little glance to see what Lancer's doing. Well, Lancer still has his archers left, and because he's got his archers left, what he can now do is monopolize this flank here. He can try and move his guys around the flank and get more shots into these Seleucids, and that's exactly what I'm doing. I don't technically need to put my guys into loose formation because I've got no archers shooting me, but I can take my time and just use these units and just gun straight into these Seleucid units. Now the Seleucids in one full unit will have about 122 or 121 men. Some of these are down to 109, these ones are down to 112, and these ones, they're down to 102 now. And that's only from just a few volleys of peeler, so a few volleys of arrows. So you can see all the damage that we're doing at this stage. Now what's going to happen, Seleucids can see what's going on, so what they're going to try and do is take the battle to the Julii. Now what they need to try and do is pin down the infantry. If they can pin down the infantry, they might be able to get their cataphracts around the flank like so, and do a nice little cav charge. So as you can see, what they're going to do, they're going to push in their guys, maybe try and break this unit that's in loose formation and push forward. In the meantime, what's happening here, we can see OTS, the Scipii players, now pushing into my guys. He doesn't really need to do that, because by pushing into my guys, all I need to do now is to take my guys out of guard mode, put my pikes down and just push forward. And you can see all of these units are slowly going to be chewed up one by one. But a good move here by OTS, what he's doing here, he's moving his guys around here to assist his ally. So really interesting here. Now you can see we've got the cataphracts fighting, we've got the Praetorian cav fighting, but just look at the what's happening. Some of the cataphracts are starting to rout, and that's primarily because they've got the archers around the flank here just shooting the sides. So these cataphracts are now being encircled. But also bear in mind, Lancer has got 2 archer units. Because he went for 2 archer units, he was able to put extra upgrades on his Praetorian cav. So his Praetorian cav can almost go toe to toe with the enemy. And what I'm now going to do, I'll move my archers around here to assist my allies here, to assist flank me, just to make sure that obviously we win this battle, because we don't want to lose this. Anyway, in comes the Scipii, in comes the cataphracts. They're coming around the flank here, and what they're going to do, they'll probably do a nice little hammer and anvil charge here, because many of their units are now all snagged up on these pikes, as you can see. So all they need to do is just come charging in here. Now at this stage I was a bit worried, because I thought, oh Christ, they're going to get really nice big mass rout going on here. But again, he's managed to pull back his urbans that you can just about see. I'm just going to pause this just for 2 seconds, guys, because I think there's a bit of lag going on. I just want to try and get rid of this lag for 2 seconds. There we go, and we're back. I just had to get rid of a bit of that lag so I could just kind of scroll in and have a look at the devastation that's going on. So again, what's happened here, we've got Lancer is now being attacked by both the Scipii and both the cataphracts, but he's doing a really sterling job holding his ground. He has got assistance with all of my Cretans, and again I use this analogy all the time, like the 4th of July celebrations. We're just shooting in here, dropping the morale for these units, and what I've also done, I've peeled off some of my Spartans which were over here to go and assist. And we've got my units who've got now flank me's now coming in, so it is pretty much going to be GG for the Seleucids. We're just going to wrap up and absolutely destroy all of these units and come in with a nice little charge here. Again, my archers, in comes the Praetorian cav. There's very little that the Seleucids can do now. Now at this stage, all I was doing, I had my pikes down, I'm just holding my ground here. I know that these urbans, they're attacking me, but there's nothing they can do. They can't punch through. But what has happened here, OTS-Manny has tried to aggressively push into flank me. Now he's gone for a frontal charge here, which can be good, but all that flank me's done, as you can see here, his guys are all in guard mode, and the way to tell that, you can see his formation is pretty much perfect. His guys aren't aggressively pushing forward, they're just holding their ground. But what OTS member should have really done is, because we had no cav over there, he should have potentially got all of his cav around the back and gone for a hammer and anvil charge. That would have done more devastation rather than just charging straight forward, which can be good if you don't have time on your hand, but he certainly had time in his hand to try and get his guys around the flank and basically try and crush these guys. But because we've now managed to finish off the Seleucids, I've managed to finish off my ally. Now it's a case of both Lancer, flank me and myself all going to go gang up together, and we're just going to encircle this last column of Scipii units, this last heroic stand of this Scipii, and they're just going to get absolutely trampled on. We've got Praetorian cav coming from the side, we've got Spartans coming from the rear, and Urbans from the front. It is basically a slaughter fest. Poor little Scipii sandwich, being absolutely sandwiched to death there. But guys, well played to the Scipii, well played to the Seleucids with playing. I appreciate that the OTS members may have been relatively new to 31k, and I hope they're going to be playing more videos and more battles with me in the future, because the more they play, the better they will play. And they certainly did a nice little maneuver there. They did well supporting the Seleucids, and they did a really good job taking on flank me. So I really hope to see more of the OTS in the future. Hopefully we can see how they've improved over the coming months or years, and hopefully you guys really enjoy that battle. So a big thank you again to Flank Me for taking part. Massive thank you for Lancer for coming on board and joining us on a 31k game. Primarily, I believe he plays CWB, so it's really interesting seeing a CWB player joining us in the 31k arena. So hats off to Lancer, and if you are watching Lancer, please leave a little comment. Let me know what you thought of the replay, and if you want to play more 31k games with me, just give me a shout. I'd love to get some more GoTW clan members on the channel. Anyway, let's have a look at the kill count. So I got it in a respectable nearly 1500 kills. Flank me got in about 1400 kills, and Lancer got in 1500 kills. Sadly, the Seleucids got only 632 kills, but what I will stress, they were disadvantaged at the end of the day. I find the Seleucids fairly tricky to use, and it can be pretty devastating if your cataphracts don't get the kills that they should get. And then if you have a quick look at the OTS guys, they got in roughly 600 and 400 kills. So guys, let me know what you think of the replay. Let me know what you think of the actual battle. Leave a little comment. I love reading your comments, and hopefully we'll catch you soon on the next video on Biscuits Total War. All the best, and once again, thank you for your time and thank you for your support. Bye now.